Hi guys, I hope you had a great start to the new year. So I've just kind of looked at some of the stuff that I've been using this past month and what I've kind of been using most. And obviously if I'm using it a lot, I must be really enjoying it. So let's get started with my January favorites. First favorite of the month is something I actually picked up in duty free on the way out to New York over Christmas, and it's called the YSL Rouge pour Couture The Mattes in the shade 207. It's definitely a lot more different than the colours that I have been wearing lately, and those colours being a bit more on the darker, more plummy, slightly more vampy side. But this shade is a lot more pink and probably something I'd associate more with springtime, but it's more of a medium cool tone pink, and I actually think this is probably the most cool tone pink that I own. And with my skin tone, you can't really get away with wearing kind of really light cool tone pinks because it just doesn't work. I'll do a swatch for you so you can see what it looks like. It's kind of got a slight plummy undertone to it, just very, very slight. And what I kind of like about it is that it's a matte finish, but it's a really, really creamy formulation. So when you wear it on the lips, it kind of feels like a balm, but not one of those kind of oily, slippery kind of balms. It's got a nice amount of rub to it, I guess, if that's the correct term, you know, when you kind of purse your lips together and rub them. It feels creamy when it shouldn't be creamy because it's matte. And I'd probably say that this is probably the most creamiest matte formulation I've actually tried to date. Can we just give a round of applause to the packaging? I mean, it's just pure luxury, pure luxury. My next favourite is a rediscovery, and I seem to be doing a lot of that recently, you know, finding things that have been stashed right at the back of my drawer. And it's the Maybelline Colour Tattoo 24 Hour, and this is the shade On and On Bronze, and I believe in the US it's called Bad to Bronze. And I only remember this because I've been using the leather version of this. The leather one, I think it's called Creamy Beige and Chocolate Suede or something like that. I guess when they say leather, they mean like more of a matte finish, which the leather version of this does give, whereas this is a pure metallic. And it's a very, very pretty colour, really flattering on all skin tones. And I'm sure you would have heard many, many other bloggers and YouTubers talk about this, and I can show you why. You can see it's metallic cream eyeshadow, and it's really easy to work with. I'm not sure if you are able to see that. It's a kind of cool toned gold, I would say, with a bit of bronze in it, hence the name. It's one of those neutral, everyday kind of throw on shades. You can easily wear it alone, or you can mix it up with like a darker shade to add a little bit more depth or dimension, or even like a warmer shade to just add a little bit more warmth to the eye. And for days when, you know, you're in a hurry, you don't have a lot of time on your hands, this is one of those kind of slapdash products you just slap on your eyes, not literally, but just dab a bit on your, I usually use my middle finger, and then I blend out the edges with my ring finger, and it is that easy. And when it catches the light too, it looks really, really pretty on the eye. And anyone can wear this colour, from really pale skin and really light eyes to much more darker skin with brown eyes like mine. And I'm glad I've rummaged through the back of my drawers to hunt this thing down. Okay, the next product is something I'm featuring in an upcoming post, but I had to give it a mention here. The last couple of weeks or so, I had a really bad breakout, and it's one of those breakouts where when one goes down, the other one comes up type thing, and it's just kind of a manifestation of germs and spots and pus, and okay, that's really gross, too much information there. I found a kind of routine that kind of helps to combat that in the most quick and effective way. And I'm really pleased with that routine, and that's what my upcoming blog post is going to be about. But the product I am rambling on about now is the Mercier Secret Camouflage, and I'm in the shade SC4. This is one of those cult products. Lisa Eldridge swears by this, and I know a lot of people struggle to work with it and they find it quite drying. It can look cakey if you overload it on. I found the best way of working with this is to mix the two colours together. on the back of your hand until you get the right color for your skin tone, and then just kind of work it in on the back of your hand with a brush, and it kind of warms the product up and kind of makes it a bit more loose. And I find by making it more loose, it's much more easy to work with when it's on the skin. It's more creamy, it's more easy to blend, and I find that going in and building like thin layers makes the formula last a lot longer. So with the breakouts I've been having, in the daytime I'm obviously going to want to hide it, but sometimes liquid concealers don't last as long and they're more prone to kind of smudging. And you know, if you're one of them people that, you know, you're always kind of resting your hands on your face, it's going to make the concealer or the foundation not last as long. I find with this, it stays put, especially if, as I said before, you build it in really thin layers and then obviously you set it in place with a powder. And the fact that you can customize it to kind of suit your skin tone without having to buy, you know, 2 shades of a particular concealer, which is what I've been doing with like the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I kind of mix the shade Custard and Ginger together. But this, you've got 2 shades in one small compact, and you've got mirror as well. This has been a lifesaver, whilst the skincare products in my spot busting routine kind of works to speed up the healing process. Whilst this does wonders in the daytime and in the evenings if you're going out to kind of hide and conceal those pesky spots. It's generally great for redness and broken capillaries, which I tend to suffer from, like just the bottom part of my cheek, and just building on really thin layers just works really well in covering them up. Oh, I almost forgot to mention the brush that I've been using, especially for the smaller spots, is the MAC 209. I don't know what this brush is called. I will definitely link that down below, but I think it's more of an eyeliner brush, like for a gel liner. But I found, because this is the smallest brush I own, it's great at pinpointing those spots and kind of covering them up, and you're literally painting on the concealer over the spot. And then I just take my finger and blend away any edges. But this works a treat with this. There is a little bit of a trend in what I've been loving this past month, like with the YSL lipstick, which is a bit more of a perkier pink compared to the kind of dark reds and the plummy tones that I've been wearing. I've also been wearing dark nails for the past couple of months, whether it's like a dark maroon red. I see Luxido springs to mind, and the Marc Jacobs Jezebel. I just wanted something a little bit more lighter on my nails, because you kind of get bored after a while. And the 2 nail polishes I've been switching up these past couple of weeks is the Tanya Burr nail polish, and this is in the shade Penguin Chic, and the Barry M Jelly High Shine nail paint, and this is in the shade Almond. And as you can see, they're kind of in the same family group, in that it's a kind of a grey, taupey, lavendery, kind of neutral tone. Obviously the Tanya Burr one is a lot more darker, and although it kind of looks grey in the bottle, on the nails, which is actually what I'm wearing now, you can see, it does have an ever so slight hint of like a lavender in it, and I just think it's a beautiful colour. This one is much lighter, and I think the lavender tones is a bit more prominent in it, but still it's not purple. It's definitely like an off grey. And I've just been literally switching between the 2 in no particular order. I love these 2 shades, and if you're a neutral nail fan, these are must-haves. I'm a massive fan of the Barry M nail polishes. I only discovered these, I think, summer last year, and I think the formulation's great. These 2 colours are definitely up there in my all-time favourite shades of nail polishes. The next product I've really enjoyed using this past month is the By Terry Ombre Blackstar, and this is in the shade 13 Brown Perfection. Like with the Maybelline Colour Tattoo 24 Hours, you literally just scribble this on your eye because it's in that, oh shoot. It's in that, ooh. I think my heart just nearly jumped out of my mouth there. As I was saying, especially when you're short on time or just really can't be bothered to faff around with eye makeup, and you just want to kind of get something on there. And this is really great for a smoky eye as well. And I think Sam Chapman from Pixie Woo recently did a video, a 5-minute smoky eye look, and she used this. It just prompted me to get this out of my stash, and I've just been teaming this with the Maybelline Colour Tattoo. So I use the Maybelline Colour Tattoo all over the lid, and I go in with the Brown Perfection along the lash line and into the crease, and then I just take a blending brush and just blend it all in. So you've got a little bit more depth, it's a little bit more smokier, and it's a little bit more sexy. And I also like to run this along the bottom lash, just kind of on the outside third, and again taking a blending brush and blending it away. So it's just kind of a soft, smoky haze of colour framing the eyes. This is a great product. The formula lasts absolutely ages. You don't have much time to work with it when it's on the eye, so you need to be really quick. Once you draw in what you need to draw in, I'd go in there with a brush ASAP and just start blending it out. Otherwise it will be really, really hard, and you don't want to be really tugging on your eye area because it's really delicate there. This has been my smoky eye best friend, and depending on how you apply it and how much you blend it in, you can really make this sheer, or you can really work it to build up the intensity. If you watch my recent Sephora haul that I did in New York, you might have seen that I bought the Hourglass kind of bronzer and blush duo, and it's in a cream formulation. And I mentioned that I don't really use cream products too often, and I tend to reserve it for the summertime because I find that it kind of looks a lot more natural. It just reminded me of something that I had been loving and I had not used for such a long time, and it's the Illamasqua cream blusher in the shade Seduce. It looks quite terrifying in the pan. I mean, that is rather scary. It's a really, really deep kind of fuchsia pink, and this is incredibly pigmented. You don't really want to go straight onto the face with this product because it will just end up looking like a right muddy mess, which is why I tend to use a stippling brush, and the one I've been using is the Real Techniques stippling brush. And this is actually the first Real Techniques brush I've ever owned, and to be honest with you, it hasn't had a lot of love from me this past, God knows, year maybe. Having said that, this is the only brush I use when I'm applying cream blushes. Basically, I dab the brush into the product and then work it on the back of my hand to remove the excess, and then I go in on the face and basically stipple it on where I need the colour. And then normally that's still too much colour, so I take my foundation brush or whatever brush I've been using for my foundation, or a beauty blender, and just kind of go over the top of where I just applied that blush, especially around the edges, just to kind of make it seamless so you can't see where the blush starts and where it ends. And I find that these work amazing together. I literally had to stop filming just to go and find out what the name of the next product is, and it's called the Nars Yachiyo Kabuki brush. And you might think that this looks a little bit strange, but this is one of the latest additions to my brush collection. I have to say that it's not the softest of brushes, and I think it's made out of goat hair. But what I do like about it is that it's incredibly lightweight, so it just feels like nothing in your hands, literally really, really light. What I love about this brush the most is its tapered head. And basically this past month, this has been my go-to brush for kind of sculpting in my cheekbones. It just nestles into that hollow of your cheek really, really perfectly, as you can see. And because of its tapered head, you only pick up the product at the very tip of the brush, and when you apply it into that hollow, the shorter hairs will actually help to blend out the product when it's on the face, so that you get that really perfect natural contour. It's nowhere near as soft as some of the brushes I have from Real Techniques and Zoeva, which is a lot more cheaper, but hey, it does the job well. And that's it for my monthly favourites. I hope you've enjoyed watching me talk about all the things that I've been loving the past month of January, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye!